Welcome back to the fleeting conversations, or is it the armchair attorney, or is it the uncertainty hour? Oh, so many things happening. My name is Matthew Leffler. This is the Armchair Attorney podcast. I am the Armchair Attorney, a lawyer, an adjunct law professor, and someone who is deeply passionate about safely delivering freight on time and undamaged. And you can't safely deliver freight on time and undamaged unless you properly maintain your commercial vehicles. I love maintenance. I love well-maintained equipment. And coming up in just a short week from now is the American Trucking Association's Technology and Maintenance Council, TMC, Nashville. And I have a treat for you. Oh, I do have a wonderful treat for you. I have the TMC Chairman, Amanda Schuier. Let's say hello. Give me a moment. Amanda.
What's up?
How are you doing?
I mean, your intro is like so cool. Like you have like 4 personalities. And then I'm just like, hey, Amanda, the TMC chairman. No,
you are the director of strategic maintenance for Jetco.
Yes,
you are the TMC chair. You have a lot going on
That's
right
true.
now.
Okay, I'll allow it. And I'm a treat. You called me a treat.
This is what I'm excited to talk to you, because you have been getting ready for something very big happening. What in the world is happening in a few short days?
I know. I was just putting together my final schedule for our TMC annual meeting in Nash Vegas, as they say. I know. I can't wait.
I've never heard it called Nash Vegas. Is that what they call it?
That's what I call it.
Okay, that sounds like a good thing.
Well, the cool kids call it. I know. I think, you know what? So Nashville, everybody wants to go to Nashville. Like our meeting attendance, we might set records depending on how many people show up, but we're going to be close. So yes, Nash Vegas, everybody wants to be there for sure.
And this is your, I wouldn't say the final hurrah, but this is the end, the transition of power from your leadership. What have you learned about TMC over the last year?
I mean, I've been a longtime TMC member. So for me, the last year has just been kind of the culmination probably, and like all of the hard work that I've put in. But yeah, we're transitioning to our next chairman, Radu, which is going to be really awesome. I'm excited for him and excited for the council, but it's been a fun year overall for me. Like I've been doing the same stuff, but I think I've been able to get more involved with some of our members and just talking to people and just really preaching what TMC is all about.
And what is TMC all about?
What is TMC all about? I guess it depends on who you're asking and when, but for me, I think it's the group of us who come, the vendors and the suppliers, the fleets, the OEMs, the service providers, we all get together. The networking is important, but the work we do to create our recommended practices, to deliver to the industry is probably one of the biggest things we do.
Well, there's one thing I love about TMC. I've been attending for over a decade at this point, and the collaboration among the fiercest competitors. I mean, that's what I love about it, is that yes, the fleets compete every single day for truck drivers, for everything that they do for customers. But when you talk about maintenance, it is a tribal kind of community and knowledge, and it's the best practitioners in the business, manufacturers, service providers, and the fleets themselves. Is that what kind of got you interested in TMC many years ago, or however when you got involved?
Yeah, you made me sound old.
I'm 40 now. I'm halfway to 80, Amanda. You're a kid.
You've been in TMC for 35 years. No, so actually what drove me to TMC was the Super Tech competition for our techs in the fall. But actually, once I got involved with TMC and I was on the supplier side of things, I figured out that all of my customers were going to TMC. Yeah. So I started showing up in the educational sessions. Like I will never forget a customer who saw me in an educational session. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to sell you something." And he's like, "Give me a call when we're back. Like I'll cut you a PO." And I realized the importance of the educational stuff within TMC, probably beyond just the trade show. Like obviously our exhibit hall and our trade show is one of the best, I think, in, the industry.
Oh, absolutely.
But it goes beyond just that. And I think that like, I'm so hungry for people outside of TMC to know that like there's so much more than just the trade show.
Yeah. What I think I find so fascinating is I've always been, like, to your point, like I was a service provider. My father was a service provider, and we would display, we met our customers there. And it's incredible to see how it's grown over the years. So
For sure.
if you're in the brokerage industry, for example, I mean, you care about motor cares, and you probably do care to an extent about, how safe is their equipment. And what we find in the data, at least, the people who are most involved with TMC run the safest fleets in America. And that's the thing I think people need to understand is, like, we all have this goal of getting home in the same condition that we leave.
Amen.
And one of the keys for that is maintaining things properly. And it just seems that maintenance never goes out of style, even if people don't want to, like, really invest in it the way they should. What are you most excited about for next week? What sessions are you like, I have got to be there?
All of them.
Well, you can't do that, Amanda. Well, that's the chairman's answer. I understand.
Yeah. No, I mean, okay. So here's like a little like secret scoop. At the end of our meeting in Raleigh, me and a couple of the other board members, we went to our study group leadership and we said, let's do something that hasn't been done at TMC in a long time. And the goal there was to have every one of our study groups participate in a technical session. That has not happened at TMC in a long, long time, but it's happening in Nashville. So basically, every single technical study group is going to have some content in Nashville, which I am really, really proud of. And what we're doing is we're compiling it into 2 different tracks. So we have a back to basics track, and then we have an advanced technology track. And you can pick and choose and like interweave between the 2. But I was finding, I guess, personally, is that TMC does the new technology stuff really well, but sometimes too, some of us just want a good refresher, or we want to go back to the basics. And so I think this meeting coming up is going to be a really good mix of like the 2 intermingling, if that makes sense. So like my session that I am moderating on Tuesday, shameless plug, is basically, it's called Effective Strategies for Presenting Maintenance Perspectives to the C-Suite. So basically this came out of an idea from a young person in the TMC Leaders of Tomorrow program. And basically he said, like, sometimes I feel like I'm talking a different language when I'm talking to my CFO, when we're talking about maintenance and finance, right? So we actually have CEO Greg Hodgen from Grondike, who is the current ATA vice chair. He's coming in to be on that panel. Greg Sutton from Transland. And then we have 2 maintenance guys, Robert Ford and Shane Barnes, who are coming in and moderating. Joe Phillips, I forgot Joe Phillips from Eagle Transport, but I'm moderating, and I'm really excited about that session. I think it's going to be fun. For sure.
That sounds awesome. I think what I find so compelling about the story of maintenance is, for a long time, it was kind of separate from procurement. And over time, I feel maintenance kind of found its way into procurement. And for me, as a lawyer, like, I care deeply about every asset on the road being, compliant with the FMCSA regulations. But we don't really find that in the industry. A lot of people get like baffled or surprised that, about 1 in 5 vehicles at any given moment is unsafe. It does not meet the minimum threshold by the FMCSA, which is the regulatory authority over our industry. What do you think about that? Like, do you get concerned that people kind of, when times are tough, maintenance is what gets chopped, or do you think that we're on a better trajectory over the next couple of years?
I mean, of course, it's concerning if people aren't maintaining their fleets.
Like, I don't think anybody
else. Like, I think that's one of the things that, like, at Jetco, I am happy to say we're not sacrificing on. And I would wager that at TMC, most of the fleets would be in the same circumstances. Like, I would think most of us are probably in the boat of, no, I'm not going to compromise that.
That's right.
Of course, there's people out there that might be, but that's scary.
The slick tires are better for racing, so that's why you don't want to have that much tread depth. You don't want to fall behind when you're on the run.
Let's not go there. let's just not.
So as we gear up for Nashville, now I've been in Nashville for TMC before. There's been TMCs. Yeah, Nash Vegas. How many people are you expecting? You have any idea on the rough numbers at this moment?
I am thinking we should hit over 5,000 in
That's
total.
incredible.
I
That's
know. I'm pumped.
incredible.
I'm pumped. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we are on pace to hit 2019 Atlanta numbers, which was our biggest
Mm.
meeting ever. So it's going to be close. We might actually break the record. I'll be really psyched if we do. Not going to lie.
Well,
That'll
that
be
would be a
cool.
great, cherry on top of your 1 year of being the chairman of TMC.
That'll be
What
cool.
what
Yeah.
happens next? So we get into TMC. We
Yeah.
have people with press releases doing all the different
Yep.
deals and
All the things.
all
Yep.
the things all at
All the
once.
things. Yep.
What happens? Does the red jacket? You get to keep it forever. What is the path for this?
I'm going to make a shrine on my wall. No, I mean, I'll have the red jacket another year as the outgoing chairman. I get to
I
be
see.
the immediate past chairman for a year. So I'll still have duties in that regard. But after that, I don't know. I can do what I want. We'll see. Yeah.
Do you think that the ATA president is something that's a possibility for you?
No, not at all.
I will lobby for you. I will get my
No.
army of tens of people. We will
No,
support you.
I think Chairman Dellinger does it great this year. So he's a cool guy for sure. So no, like, so other things at TMC, can I like just plug some other things that I want to plug?
You.
If you have not been to TMC before, I would recommend the First Timers meeting. That goes a lot about why TMC is the way it is and some of the things that we do. So that's a good one to go. That's on Monday. I always recommend the town meeting on Monday night because that's a really good like State of the Union. Chris Spear will be there. Some people from DC. Dan Horvath's coming in to give a regulatory update. Like I feel like those are really. It's a really important session to again like see all like the key players of TMC and kind of learn what we're up to. Obviously, if you're a fleet, you can't skip fleet talk. Like that's a really good session for us. What else would I recommend? If you're an exhibitor only, we're doing something new this year. We're having a session on Tuesday for exhibitors only to talk about why TMC is more than a trade show, right? And so help our exhibitors understand kind of what goes beyond the trade show. And then, like I said, there's so many technical sessions from every one of our study groups. In those two tracks, right? The back to basics and advanced technology. And honestly, it's going to be hard to pick and choose, really.
What I find so fascinating about your journey in the space, like you were on the service provider side, you've worked in dealerships, you've worked aftermarket, you've worked on the fleet side. So you, better than most people, understand the challenges for all of the stakeholders in this business. And that's why I was so excited when you became the chairman. I met you last year and we took that wonderful picture. We'll make sure to toss that up later on. But as you think about what advice you'd give to people who are new to this business, like new to transportation, what should they think about at TMC and how can they get involved with it?
Whew, that's a good question. I mean, I think at TMC, the best thing for new people is really just networking, like bringing more business cards than you think you're going to need. Putting your hand up to volunteer, not being afraid to ask people questions, like all of those things, even as intense as TMC is, I think from the start, you'll feel that like camaraderie, right? Of all these people are here to do the same thing. And it goes back to your point of like, there are competitors like helping competitors in the same room. And I think that's so unique about TMC. I think like, I guess I would tell newer people is like, don't be afraid to ask somebody like, hey, can I follow up with you after the meeting and like ask you about how you got to your career? I've had several of those moments where people have asked me that, and it's been really flattering, but too, it's always fun to give back, I think. And so, I certainly welcome those conversations, asking questions on the exhibit floor and, meeting new suppliers. Like, I think TMC is kind of what you make of it, and then like putting the effort in, you will definitely, reap the results for sure.
I can't agree with that enough. I remember working with my father and going out in our yard with our aftermarket repair business, and you'd see Old Dominion and Pitt, Ohio, and FedEx Freight and Schneider and Werner, and those are companies that care deeply about safely maintaining their equipment because it's the driver. How do you retain drivers? Operate safe equipment.
100%.
And then you get to TMC and you see these people again, like who are the most ferocious of competitors. Like even before the days of deregulation, when there's yellow, roadway, and CF, like these were competitors in every sense of the word, fighting for employees, for vendors, for customers. And then this idea of generosity of their time and their expertise. And that's the thing I find so amazing and compelling about TMC is it is a place of collaboration, industry best practices. It's not always complaining about the manufacturer who made the truck that didn't do the thing.
No,
so that's a part of it. I mean, there's a part of this. It's accountability.
I think more in the past, and I think we're getting more to the like collaboration is just such a good word for what we do at TMC. Like I don't want it to be cliche, but it really is. I mean, there really is a sense of collaboration. I really do think that word applies to what we're doing. Yeah.
What I get excited about is like you kind of outline this is like we see the focus now coming into maintenance. I mean, all of these new technology, autonomous trucks, electric vehicles or zero emission vehicles, the technologies of connected systems and sharing equipment. This is predicated on people maintaining things correctly. So everyone now is like their eyes are going, this is where innovation begins, is how people maintain equipment.
Love that. Love that for us.
Well, I'm excited to see you next week. I anticipate you're going to be very, very busy. But if someone sees you and you're walking the floor, can they just come up and say, hello, Amanda?
No, I have like a security team around me, like bouncing. Yes, of course they can come up and say hi. Like I'm used to it. People can ask me questions anytime about TMC. I welcome that. And if I don't have time with you, I'll be honest. Like I'm pretty upfront about that. I'll be like, how about later? But yeah, like I welcome questions and comments and feedback about TMC anytime. So yeah. Well, like find me. Good luck. We should make it a challenge. Like find Amanda, get a Starbucks gift card. Like good luck.
That's an interesting idea. We could do like it's like Pokemon Go. It's like going out there and finding Amanda, taking that
put like
selfie.
A tracker on me and see like where she goes. We should have a bet on like how many steps I take in a day at TMC. It's got to be over 20,000.
Could the award for that be like a golden glad hand? Like, wouldn't that be a pretty interesting idea?
It could be. That would be.
I think we have something we're working on.
I think we do. Yeah, that sounds like fun.
This is great collaboration.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I leave in a couple days, so my countdown is already on. So there's all this like meeting prep before the meeting prep before the prep. So it's going to be good.
This is why I wanted to get you in here today.
I know.
This is the last availability I think you have.
I mean, basically, yes. Yes.
Well, Amanda Schuier, thank you for joining us today. I will see you in, what is it, Nash Vegas? Is that it?
Nash Vegas, baby.
Not Lossville? Is that not how it would work?
No,
That's not nearly as compelling.
I can't believe you haven't heard it called Nash Vegas.
I'm 40 years old. I don't understand what the kids are calling things now.
I'm not a kid. You called me old. Nash Vegas, baby.
We are ancient. Well, Amanda, thank you for joining us today. I will see you next week. And as always, I appreciate you joining me.
Thanks.
That is Amanda Schuier. She is the current chairman of the American Trucking Association's Technology and Maintenance Council, TMC, coming to Nash Vegas next week. I'll see you there. I hope you're there. Until then, have a great day. And then we hit the end.